down with BCP. The following content is intended for a mature audience, only viewer discretion. It's strongly advised.
I did it again. Oh, what the hell?
That's a live opening for you, Jason.
I did it again, didn't I? I was on the wrong channel. I was on the BCP. Oh, now I'm messing about with it. I can't. Oh my god, this is all going mad. What's? Do
you want to start again, or should we just go into it as a cold opening?
There's no point running the intro. I was on the wrong channel, wasn't I? I was on the BCP, not the British Bears, for the media assets. So it's brilliant. Another professional opener from me. Sorry, guys.
And I thought you were like the intelligent one in between us.
Hey, I watched it live, so I'm knackered. That's my excuse.
Well, that's true, and so like Jason watched it live, and then for some reason I was going to watch it in the morning, so I didn't have to watch it with the adverts. But I just couldn't sleep, and then I just kept hearing like my phone like buzzing, and I thought, oh fuck it, I'll just get up, and it like I was saying, luckily on our subscription you can start, you can watch the game from the start even if the game's halfway through, and got to like 6 in the morning, man. Like I probably must have woken people up. I was like jumping about the flat like a fucking idiot. I just couldn't. It was such a. It will go into it, mate. But how are you doing, mate? Anyway,
I'm marvelous. Always better after a Bears win.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat?
There's plenty of people in the chat. I said, let's say hello. Yeah, that's a little bit of dead air there. Ooh. Right, so Armando is there. It's Crimson, you dig. Jay Grizz, Shorty, hello, mate. Relentless Mikey. Where are we? Armando again. It's the same ones all saying hello to each other. Look at that. How nice. Dave Bears, UK. Tim Pot intro. You're not bloody wrong, mate. What an amateur.
What the fuck, mate? You know what I mean? What the fuck?
Little note to self to check what channel I'm on before I start pressing. Yeah. Anyway.
I know you're a few years older than me, Jason, but come on, brother.
All right. Steady on. What's that noise? Is that you got crackling? Now, can I hear crackling? What's that?
Oh, it might have been that. You sound all right.
Oh God, is anyone else picking that up? There's a real horrible crackling on the line there. Anyway, that's gone. All right, Shorty, Squeegee's in.
Hey, Squeegee.
Oh, there he is again.
I can't hear anything.
You're not hearing that?
Yeah. It's like a slight fuzz, but nothing bad.
Yeah, Mike didn't say anything here. It's horrible crackling. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Crackling hard. I'm not trained technically enough to sort this out. I don't know what that's about.
I can't hear anything different. I can't hear any crackling or anything.
Oh no, it's horrible.
What do you want to do? Do you want to both of us log out? Can you start a show again? I don't know.
I don't think you can. You end the stream and it's microphone issue. I think you're right. Let me see if I can switch mine off. Hang on. Let's get rid of those. Oh, it's all going well today. How's that? Can you hit? It's gone now. It's Crimson. Yeah. Try turning it off and back on again. I turned. Did you hear me? Did you hear any there, mate? Anyone else? Did anyone get any?
I've not heard it from the start, mate.
I just switched both the mics on and off and on again. So I did try the off and on. It's gone. Mikey says it's gone. Dave Bears UK says it's better. Crimson says it's good. Right, let's roll with it. Oh my god!
That was just like that incident basically just reflected last night's Bear performance. We kept struggling, but we finally fucking got there, mate.
Yeah, well, I do apologise everybody for that slight technical stuff. You know, first me getting the wrong intro and now the microphone issue. But I think thank you for calling in tech support, Crimson, the IT crowd. Brilliant. Yeah, Squeezy's got a thumbs up. Right, that's it. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Let's get on with it, shall we? We're 5 minutes in and we've barely started. So thanks to my buffoonery and some minor technical problems. But I think I mentioned everyone in the chat. Great to see you all here, guys and girls, if there's anyone in. But just, brilliant. Welcome in. Good to see you, Chris. Let's kick off, shall we? Over to you, mate.
Cool. I mean, what we usually do is we usually start with the offense, but I really want to start with the coaching and the players and how what they've done in the last 2 weeks. Because basically what they've done in the last 2 weeks, which we've never seen from a Chicago Bears team from a bye, is that they actually sorted out the issue, which were like big numbers issue on both sides of the ball, running the ball. And that, to me, is fantastic coaching and scheming, and also the players sorting out as well. And that's, to me, it's just like hats off to their coach and the coordinators, because that were like getting historically bad numbers, wasn't it? Sort of like, what it our run defense?
Yeah, that was right. It was someone asked what someone called it on. So I saw it on social media. It said it was historically bad.
Oh, really?
We were giving up 6 yards of carry on defense,
and we did it against the number one running team in the league out of Washington, or there was.
Exactly. They were. I think the most.
I think they weren't doing it against like a team that struggles to run the ball. But I just thought that said a lot about the coaching. I really did. It was just to get that offensive line working like they did, and it would just that's why Swift did so well. Do you know what I mean? Like people have been saying, "Oh, Swift is a bust," whatever. I always thought it was more down to the offensive line gelling and just being a little bit better, and that just showed last night with his stats and his overall performance. But what are your thoughts about the coaching and how they used the bye week?
The difference was night and day, wasn't it? Like you said, they had them prepared.
It really was. It was like extremely different.
That's what we were worried about, wasn't it? The Commanders had the number one running game. We had like a second bottom, I think it was, run defense. And we couldn't run the ball, which had me even more concerned when you start to see the weather reports. People talking about that, the bad weather may affect the passing game. Yada yada yada.
Question, mate. Like a lot of players today wear the visors on the helmet. The face mask, like a lot of them wear the clear visor.
Yeah.
Would you wear one if you were playing today? Would you wear one of them visors?
I don't know if I would actually. Certainly not if it's raining.
I would. I probably do. It's like you get 33% less sort of oxygen because it goes down to your nose. And I remember like when they came out in the 80s when I was playing, and somebody got hold of some of the like aircraft sort of pilots and like the night were like the white yellow colour, and it was just like playing like in a psychedelic dream. It was like terrible. But no, I don't think I'd wear one, man. I find them a little bit OTT, but that's just me anyway. That's funny, man. I went off on a little tangent.
I was the same. Some players were wearing them when I was playing too, just for they were just coming in. You just get them, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't like anything like interfering my vision to catch the ball because I was wide receiver back in when I first played at 18. So I didn't want anything in my vision at all affecting it. So
I want exactly the same as running back because you just want to get that scope, and especially like that's what I brought up. Excuse me, mate.
Well, bless you, child.
Sorry about that.
Just to go to, I think the difference was the coaching, wasn't it? We came out of the bye week prepared. We're breaking that hoodoo of the flipping Bears bye week curse, and then
completely different, mate. Completely different. For how many years?
Yeah, the guys are all mentioning in the chat. Everyone's talking about refereeing.
We'll get on to that, mate.
We're going to have to go there because that was fucking atrocious. Bless you, says Crimson.
Cheers, mate.
Or as Armando would say, Jesus, I believe they say in Spanish.
Very international of you, mate.
Yeah, I speak a little. Yo hablo un poco de español. But, anyway, enough of that. Manuel. Shorty's saying that the Bears are now 24-24 all time after the bye week. There we go. We've got to 500. 500 on the
Yeah,
buy.
but in that like being the last, because in like a bit of a weird thing about we've won by the same scoreline for the last 3 weeks or something.
Say again. Sorry, I was responding to Jay Grizz.
Isn't it something like the last 3 results have all been the same score?
No, not 3.
No, it couldn't have been.
It was 2. It was 2, wasn't it? It was 25-24.
Yeah.
It was the same score as the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, because Shorty thinks it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Get your tinfoil hat.
Well, yeah, but we'll go to Kelly Williams. He was 17 at 29 for 252 yards and 1 TD. I don't think he had his best game, but then again, he was playing against a really good sort of front seven, I thought. And I think as well, you can see him getting more and more in time with the overall system. You know, like the timing to him and the wide receivers seem to be getting better. But he did hold on to the ball a bit too long. But yet again, you know, he made the throws, but when it was needed. You know, he's one of them players he thrives in the pressure of that late comeback and sort of, you know, I was really impressed with him. I was just I think he's like bringing a bit of leadership as well, and he just does things in a good temper. I remember when I was in Chicago and the first game against the Vikings, and like Justin Fields, the quarterback. I know everybody's bashed him this week, but everything he did, this is like even walking between the huddle and like, you know, to the line of scrimmage. There was no tempo. Everything was just like really sort of laid back feeling. There was just no juice, you know what I mean? And you feel with Caleb, he's just a little bit more sort of intense. He just not, I wouldn't say he feels intense, but it just like seems to get a rhythm going.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Grizz saying if Brisker stays healthy, he's going to get himself a nice payday. Yeah.
What were your thoughts about Caleb's performance, mate?
Yeah, like I say, it wasn't his best. Hello, Patty.
No interceptions.
No, exactly. Yeah, I know. Turnovers for us again was there, which is great. We're going to talk about that. That's one of my little things for later. Victory Tequila Tuesday. All right.
I like it, mate. Nice one, Patty. Have one on me.
Yeah, I think he's just learning to run an offense, isn't he? I think he's just developing a familiarity with Ben Johnson's system. They're kind of working, building it together. And it's just taking a little bit of time, isn't it? I just think, yeah, it looked efficient. It looked okay. I mean, I think there are fewer sort of like missed passes. There was a couple like the low one for Swift that got challenged for that whole yard. They challenged that, didn't they?
What would the point of that challenge, man? That's ridiculous.
But he's looking good. He's making good audibles at the line of scrimmage. I watched that Tim Jenkins breakdown of him. Actually, that was really good. Actually, I thought.
I saw that this afternoon.
The stuff that a former QB can see that you maybe not necessarily spot. Armando is absolutely correct. Wright played like an all-pro last night. Wright was brilliant. The O-line totally, yeah. We're going to be.
Well, do you think we might be getting to the stable lineup for the offensive line for the foreseeable future?
Well, you don't want to speak it too soon, do you? But there was an improvement, wasn't there? It was pretty good. Yeah. I took a little screenshot. I was going to go through that in a bit. Well, for later on was the grades for the O line was brilliant. Well, not to say brilliant. Tooney is obviously an all pro. His was incredible. In fact, I can mention it now if you want. I'll just hold on. Bear with. Yeah, I saw it on Reddit. Someone shared it in there that the pass blocking grades. Joe Tooney's was 87.9, gave up 0 pressures. Darnell Wright 80.7, 1 pressure. Drew Dolman 73.1, 3 pressures. Jonah Jackson 70.9, 1 pressure, and Theo Benedette 60.9 grade, gave up 2 pressures. So they looked like they were bossing it, didn't they? That were front, and I think that's why the run game was so good. Some of the holes they gave Swift to run into, man, and because going back to what you're saying about Swift, some people were giving a load of shit. There was this stat, wasn't there, about how much where he was getting to contact and what he was getting after that. But I always say that stats are kind of illuminating but not true. They can tell you something, but they're not the whole story. And I know that Swift isn't shit because I've seen him at Detroit and Philadelphia. So we know what he's capable of, but we just haven't been able to get it out of him because of our O-line play.
Yeah,
So
that's what you see. It doesn't matter if you're Walter Payton, Roger Craig, going back to like the 80s out now, Tim Rathman, anybody, you know what I mean? I might just go on and say Matt Suey as well. But it doesn't matter how good the running back is. If you got guys getting through the A and B gap straight away, as soon as he's got the handoff, then it doesn't matter who you are. You can't do anything about it. He just and I thought as well that he ran really hard, when he came to contact. So I'm really happy for the guy, man. You know what I mean? He takes a lot of shit. And I just remember saying the last couple of weeks, I didn't think it was sort of totally down to the running backs. It was down to the offensive line still gelling and maybe getting the right lineup, which we might have.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I say, it's one of those, like we always say, didn't we? It's the sort of group of players on the team, or probably of all the team, that have to learn to play together, don't they? All those five are a unit. Swift. Crimson says Swift can't break tackles with a great O-line. You don't have to. And he's not a battering ram kind of player, is he? Although he managed that great move for his 55-yard touchdown was that tiny little pause that he did enough to just freeze that cornerback, didn't it? And that allowed him to get space to make him miss the tackle. I was well pleased with that. I just think you need to give him some time. You need to get those five together, which they seem to be. But I also think the running game was, I wouldn't say more complex, but I think it was more. You
know what? That is so weird, Jason, because that was the next question I go ask you. Do you think they changed the blocking scheme? I'm only now really sort of, since I got older, valuing offensive line play, because obviously when you're young, you don't really think about it. You just think about the skill players, and it is quite a fascinating position just to understand. But I see that sometimes just look that way. It look like how they're sort of getting people at certain angles and certain positions and stuff like that. Yeah. But that's what I mean. That's just great coaching, and also the players getting better. But why can't they get better?
No, exactly. And it was also there were more different blocking calls in terms of like receivers checking into sealing an end, pulling from different sides of the line. You had sometimes the center pulled at one point and spun in. Dolman did this sort of pull and spin around and then sort of got the guy that came in from the left. There just seemed to be more going on, and I think that has to massively help, didn't it? If you're just not, you're running your five guys, get a hat on a hat, and you try and find a gap. But when you've got more going on, it kind of, I think it throws off the D line. They've got to think more to think about and more to react to. And I think it was more sort of like, is that what they call a wide zone scheme? The way they were sort of throwing the outside. Again, that sort of technicality is beyond me. I'm just a dumb English.
Yeah, correct us in the chat if we're wrong, but I think we're right.
Yeah, please embellish us with your knowledge. It was. They just seemed to be doing more sort of mixed stuff. So it worked, man. But what a game.
It was just. I think they were saying like
it was more. Down. Good to see you, Booker.
Hey, Kimbuki, mate. Oh, you're doing well, brother. But yeah, it was just. That's what it could be. This could be like the final five, what we need, and I don't really care. Like say the guy, the Canadian Eagle. I couldn't give a shit where he comes from, man. If he's good enough to play, he's good enough to play. And I think he's a really good run blocker. Probably his run blocking's better than his pass blocking at the moment. But he's a young kid, so he can improve as well.
Yeah, and I think that's why they've done it, isn't it? I think that's probably why. I think there was a couple of mistakes from Braxton in the previous game when he got taken out.
Apart from there was one play where the defensive end absolutely put on his ass, and he could sort of visually see him going backwards in the air, like on his ass.
Again, I think I saw it on social media. The last play before he got pulled was essentially he kind of missed his block. There was the defensive end had lined up wide of him, and he kind of just completely ignored him and sort of turned inside. And then that guy ran around the outside and got a tackle for loss on the running back. And I think that someone said that might have been his last play of the game. But I think what they're thinking is that, in the previous game, the Raiders game. So I think they see that potentially Benedet's ceiling is higher than Braxton's. They know what they've got with him,
Right.
but I think they kind of see.
Andy was on the practice squad for last year as well, so he's sort of, he's been in the system as such, or in the Bears system.
Quickly wanted to address this one because I just Jay Grizz asked about it earlier, and I was going to ask this too. It's something that's there's so many things in my head about this game. I wanted to ask, just engage with the chat with, but this is one of them. And Jay Grizz asked earlier about any news on DJ, because that was, he got hospitalised, didn't he, after the game?
Yeah.
As a precaution.
I reckon it's either his back or his kidney or his liver, because I think it was just how he landed.
He got banged in the side, didn't he, when that big hit?
He sort of got hit and he landed straight onto like that part of his body. Yeah. Like it really, and then pictures are like hard when you think. That's what I was surprised when I went on the Soldiers Field pitch. Well, just how hard and compact it was, really. But it's just.
Sorry, just Mikey's saying that as far as DJ in hospital after the game, it was something to do with his groin.
Oh, right.
Ben said that they got good news, so he's day to day. Okay, so day to day would suggest it isn't anything serious, hopefully, so far, unless they're waiting for more scans. Again, we'll have to wait for more news. But yeah, I was going to see if anyone knew anything regarding that, just to find out.
Well, that sounds better than sort of all the rumours what have been going around, or what I've been thinking anyway. But then again, Jalen Johnson, he injured his groin and he's out for the whole season, isn't he? So, but he didn't really land. It really landed sort of on his back, so I thought it would have been the small of his back when he'd injured it.
You don't know, dear, but no. Apparently Johnson has a chance of being back later in the season. So, and they know they're not writing him off for the season, but they're saying he might. Right. There's a chance he could be back for the playoffs, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, man, I like the spirit, mate. You know what I mean? We're 3-2 now.
You know me. But
yeah, 3-2. Apart from everybody else in our division are playing really well as well. We must be definitely in the hardest division in the NFL.
Oh, it's totally in football, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah. It's got to be, mate. So anyway, we'll move on to the receivers, man. Swift, man, I mean, he got 3 catches for 6-7 yards, like TD. I thought played, who showed flashes, and I believe he's going to be like a really good talent in the future, is Burden the third. He got 451, and it's what he does after the catch, which is really sort of pleasing.
Yeah. Oh, you was over to me, was it? I agree.
Yeah, I was setting you up.
Oh, okay. You normally lead it in with what do you think, or what are your thoughts? But I'll just try and take the cue. We're trying to build this.
Sorry, chemistry. But I never realised that you are multitasking, which apparently us men can't do. So what the fuck?
Hey, no, I can sit on the bog and shit and scroll on my phone at the same time. So that's rubbish. Booker is. Yeah,
that's the image now. What's burnt into my fucking psyche?
You can have that.
Is you on the toilet with your phone?
But yeah, King Booker's calling out as well. The refs, we mentioned it earlier. I was going to
talk about
man, that's unreal, wasn't it? So let's go there now. We've mentioned it. Let's just do it. Let's deal with it now.
That, honestly, mate, that when if through the pass to Romadunze and he got called back because of saying the offensive line were lying too far back, Benedict, there was no fucking way, man. He got to be on his head. It's got to be lined up with basically the centre's ass. And I saw it from different angles, and I watched the score, and Nolan Cruz was saying, that's an absolute bullshit call. That was because that would have made a massive difference in the game, because we were struggling to get touchdowns. We were getting we're always field goals. And it was like a really good pass as well, man. I mean, he had to do a lot to get it, because it was just a bit of an up and under, but it's just getting smoother with Williams in the offense, and it just seems to be clicking, and it's just like night and day with the offensive line, and you just think that you can just tell like the offense has seemed a bit more balanced, if you know what I mean. But I thought I was sort of really, really impressed with the receivers. You got Morey got 342. Robert Dunze got 232 yards. And also the dude, fucking, is it Zakeen?
Zacchaeus. Olamide
Cheers
Zacchaeus.
when he got that pass, and he could have got all the way, man.
That is, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was, you had to watch till it was over. Yeah, Mikey's got it. That officiating crew are a bunch of wankers. I've always wanted to say that. He's always wanted to say that. Bunch of wankers. Well, they came into the game with the highest number of flags thrown by a long way, by a mile, by a country mile.
Oh, really? Like a noticeable difference between the second crew.
So the second crew, as in.
No, like what? Well, that number like a lot higher than the crew behind them.
It's something like 17 or 19 flags more.
Some of the pass interference calls was shit as well. I thought.
I'm right with them down because I mean,
exactly like with Loveland when they said he pushed off and he got to let the guys play a bit.
Utterly ridiculous. There's several that were just dreadful. Like that one was really bad. The Loveland flipping offensive pass interference, total bollocks. The illegal formation one as well is just ridiculous. That just wasn't even. And even Aikman and Buck on the commentary, who were shitting on us all fucking night, even they thought that was ridiculous.
I want to know, Jason. Did something happen to like Troy Aikman in Chicago or something? Is that why he's such a negative fucker when it comes to like when the
maybe he's still bitter about the 44-0 shot out that Ditka and the 85 Bears inflicted on him.
What did he play? What did he play from then for Dallas? Then?
No, he wasn't. But he's a Dallas boy, isn't he? And that's all. I mean, that's the only. I'm clutching at straws. I think he's just the media. It's not the media thing anywhere. They've got their favourites. They were blowing smoke up Jaden Daniels' arse from last season, and he's still the golden boy, which I thought was hilarious that he fumbled away the game then at the end.
Oh mate, that was another part of the story, wasn't it? You know. But you think about that, everybody goes on about that Hail Mary last year, but that wasn't down to his skill. That was down to our stupidity. It was down to us letting him go that 15 yards. And then what Stevenson did. See, what like all they did was heave the ball down, and it was just like, it was fucking bullshit. I mean, that's when I did start, thinking, as the big man in the sky got something against this personal. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was cursed. But, yeah, I mean,
there's someone that, you could say there's probably, 5, 6, 7 holding calls that aren't given every game, but I saw definitely 2 on the Bears D, where the Washington player was holding them. One of them was really blatant, like a Dengbo had sort of beaten his man on the outside, and the guy literally had his arm hooked over his shoulder to hold him back. And it's like, and the other one that really gripped my shit was the one on a Dunze, in the face, like hands to the face. And it's not called. It's like, Jesus Christ! It's like, what have we got to do?
It did feel that way. And I don't know if they did it because like we will hit the away team, so like they were hoping to get like obviously they won, but like hoping to get like the home.
That's the thing is
behind them. So, but that touchdown when the caught touchdown back, man, I just wanted to smash the TV up because it was just like that was just such a nothing call. I mean, as far as I could tell. Well, if Erling Cruz says that were bollocks and he's like being nominated for the Hall of Fame this year, then I'm going to go with Erling Cruz, man. You know what I mean? And what he said. But yeah, it would just annoying.
I'm sick of talking about officials. They were shit. And to be fair, I'm glad actually I've seen it on a bit on social media and some of the internet coverage. Is that they are being called out for it? It's obvious. Like prime time, there was no other game to watch. Everyone saw that disgraceful performance from them. And the sort of really sort of one-eyed coverage from Buck and Aikman as well, which I thought was really
honestly, like you said before, it's like, what the fuck Chicago done to you, man? Do you know what I mean? And sort of what's Caleb done to you? Why are you so negative and why can't you see, like Troy Aikman's rookie season, he was fucking terrible for the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like ridiculously bad. And, it's really funny. It just reminds me. It just looks like a guy who used to be one of my mates called Nick Walls. It's really weird. Every time I see him, it just reminds me of this guy who used to knock about with. But yeah, I just couldn't get it.
But
I think it's the away team.
In terms of the penalties, though, mate, they're a couple of things I do want, like a couple of them that we do need to iron out, like the two lining up in the neutral zone, one by DJ, one by Gordon. That's just like schoolboy error. That needs to be sorted out. And then the other one was the illegal formation call, which was bollocks on Benedette though. Did you know that was the only flag thrown on our offensive line all game? No holding calls, no false starts. Our O-line played a pretty clean game.
Because I was thinking about that, because they were saying, we got a lot of penalties, and then I kept thinking, I can't really remember the O-line getting a lot of like pre-snap jumping off sides, which were an issue earlier on. But it just seems like everybody's just gone to another level with the understanding of the offense, and the players just seem to be just getting more comfortable and really sort of playing. That was like a gritty win, man. That was like, the win against the Raiders were last minute, but it was like a bit of a fluke as well because it was a block kick. Well, this one, it was just like a really good, back and forth game. And we'll move on to the defense, man, unless you got anything more about the offense.
I think the offense wasn't spectacular, but I think it just. I'll sort of wrap it all up after actually because I took some notes of just like comparison of the two teams, and what really struck me was that we went on the road to a team that was in the NFC Championship game last year that finished 12-5. Everyone's raving about them how good they are, but tipping them for a big run in the playoffs again. We went into their house, and in many categories of the game, we beat them, we outplayed them. So. Yeah, people were saying, we haven't really beaten anyone good, despite the fact, obviously, that the Cowboys are putting up 30-plus points a game, and we kept them to 14. So that we expected a shootout, didn't happen. But we basically went away to an NFC Championship game. And everyone was saying we hadn't played anyone decent, and we did. And we went toe-to-toe, and we came out on top. So, they got a good front seven on the defense. I say we knew last week they had 15 sacks in their first 5 games, whatever it is, 4 games.
And they're just beating a really good team of the Chargers the week before as well. And
we're a bit kind of like hot and cold. I think they're missing a couple of players, I think, too. But it's still a good win. Yeah, exactly, to beat the Chargers. But, now let's move on to the defense, mate. Happy.
Cool. Well, with the defense, man, 3 takeaways again. So we've got 11 turnovers overall. And I think that may be second to Jacksonville, which sounds really weird. I could be completely wrong.
I have the information on that. Yes, I've made a note of that. That was going to be a little bit of my stat bomb later on, but
I won't go. I'll leave it then, mate. I'll leave that. If that's part of stat bomb, then I'll just go through some of the stats. Edmonds 4 tackles, 5 assists. Wright, I thought he got a little bit picked on, the cornerback, especially in the first half. They were getting quite a lot of joy on his side of the field, I thought. What did you think?
Yeah, his name was mentioned a bit. I mean, he appeared. I made a bit of a note about him, actually, because I knew that some people were going to give him a load of shit for the busted coverage, which I think was a bit of a, for the 33-yard touchdown to McCaffrey. I think they kind of, their communication just kind of like slipped, and he tried to jump.
It was a complete coverage bust, wasn't it? Because
and
how wide open he was.
Yeah, I think he thought their play was going into the flat, so he kind of tried to jump it, but then that just gave McCaffrey the space. So there was that, and there was one other one. What was there? He got beaten. There was a couple of penalties, one of which was obviously the face mask, which was just ludicrous. But other than that, I thought he actually played a decent game because he's going to get picked on because Stevenson's on the other side. So
I thought Stevenson had a really good game because you didn't hear his name at all. Yeah. Which usually means that they won't throw into his side.
Just a couple of times. He made a couple of decent tackles. There was one, I think they had like a wide play, a running play around the outside, and he flipping killed it like for no gain. A few tackles, but kept it pretty quiet. But Nation right? I say he had a couple of sort of dodgy moments, but I think for a backup, he's doing pretty well. So I know he gets.
He did improve. He did improve throughout the game. But it was just that sort of initial quarter and a half where they seemed to be getting, picked on. They were getting quite a lot of success, going against him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not as sticky in coverage as your sort of top. He's nowhere near Jalen Johnson in terms of coverage. But he had 5 tackles. One of them was a tackle for loss. 1 pass breakup, and obviously he recovered the fumble in the fourth quarter. He was the one that recovered it. So I don't think he's dog shit. I think he's pretty decent as a for a backup. We can live with it. I think we can live with him until because you can't have a team of 53 prime starters, can you? It's always about the whole
squad. You need depth, but obviously you are going to step down. But I'll tell you a player I thought made a really big impression on the defense when the return of TJ Edwards. Sorry,
yeah.
He had 4 tackles, 9 assists, or maybe 4 assists. Can't read my own writing. But I just thought him being back.
Totally correct, Crimson. That's it. He saw what he thought was coming, jumped it, and was too early. And that's it. Again, that'll be good teach tape. Great teach tape. And that's what it's about.
I agree with you there, Crimson. That's a good point. But yeah, I just think with TJ Edwards back, it was his like leadership as well, like how he was getting everybody lined up, and it allowed Edmonds to more or less stay on the outside a lot more, where he wasn't getting them big sort of offensive linemen where he struggles to shed the blocking. And yeah, I mean it'll just improve as well. So he's come back from he's been off quite a long time, so it'll take a while to get back into sort of that game sort of headspace. But I just thought it just brought a lot of leadership back to the defense. Brisker, he got 2 tackles, 1 assist, and that great interception in the first quarter. That was just awesome how he jumped it. Robinson, he had 2 tackles, 1 assist, and half a sack. Sweat had 2 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 forced fumble, which it was right, wasn't it? What's that, sorry, mate?
And a pass deflection.
And a fast deflection.
Yeah.
Dexter, sorry. He had a good game. He had 2 tackles, 3 assists, and 1.5 sacks. So, and also as well, I thought our big cuz Andrew Williams, big cuz, he had a blinder of a game, man. So he helped in that sort of fumble, what happened, and he was getting into their backfield quite a lot, man. So I thought he had a really good game, but what were your thoughts about the overall defense?
Yeah, pretty good. I say we were terrified that the Washington were just going to run the ball all over us, weren't we? So they really stepped up.
Sorry, man, but yeah, again, like when we're on about the offensive line, do you think it was scheme again? Could it have been like a slight different change of the scheme, or were players just like a bit more? I don't know, just improving, constantly. I just because that was massively. You could notice it was noticeable about the improvement in our rush defense, and like we stopped like the number 1 NFL rushing team. So I can't remember what the stat is, but I think we outrushed them anyway with our offense. But I thought that was the best game the defensive line had since the start of the season. What do you reckon?
I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they've just done their homework. We know Ben Johnson is detail obsessed. And intense, and it's permeating through the whole team. And I think with that extra time to put the work in the film room, and also the return, like you say, the linebackers I thought played brilliantly. They were getting them in the box regularly, 7 or 8 in the box, and I think the linebackers really did brilliantly in terms of filling the holes on the O line.
What did you think about? What did you think about the return of Kyler Gordon?
Yeah, quite.
He got beat on the touchdown. He was covering the longest touchdown.
Yeah, he did. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of rustiness probably. He's been out for quite some time. I think that's his first game back, isn't it? I think we haven't seen him all season.
Was he in the preseason?
Yeah, he got hurt in preseason, didn't he? I can't remember, but no, I think I mean, he maybe could have done better. But I think he makes a difference, doesn't he? I think in terms of, and there was a couple of times where he was on the sort of run support, and they showed some of the sort of replay. I've seen some of the All-22 from, I think it might have been Tim Jenkins again, that showed where he was making a difference in terms of he was applying pressure to the Booker's lighting it up again. So he made a difference in some respects, in terms of like the way they apply pressure to the Washington run game. But he'll get better. He'll get back to game speed, won't he? I'm sure. So chasing Daniels a couple of times. He was there or thereabouts, and I think he makes a big difference. So he'll improve. He'll get back up to, let's say, to game speed and be. What's this one? What's this from Crimson? I don't remember which play it was, but watching Big Dex chasing the ball carrier was and inspiring. That man had no business in pursuit, but he never gave up. Yeah, I know exactly. I saw
that's similar to Big Cuz Andrew Billings, man. I think a couple of games ago, he was trying to run down the quarterback, and for a man that size, and give that sort of effort as well. And he had like a really good form to him as well. Like he's running like he had really good form. I thought, man, that's impressive, man. But yeah, anything more you want to touch on regarding the D?
3 sacks. So that's better. We haven't been getting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to find the pressures information, but I think we definitely had some. I know that Tez had a couple. We could have had a couple of sacks, but Daniels is a slippery customer, any man. He gets that like Prescott could have had one. There was one where Billings and Sweat were converging on him, and it's almost like Billings stopped Sweat getting to him, and he just. But yeah, Daniels is really good on his feet. You know,
he's a really good player, and
I
still think Caleb's got a better eye on him.
My beef is not with Jaden Daniels. He's an absolutely brilliant quarterback. My beef is with the media making out like he's a fucking Hall of Famer after 10 games. You know, it's just like that's why the Bears fans are pissed off. It's like everyone's making it out to this big thing that it's either Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, but they could both be great. And yeah, fair play to him. He's a great player, but we'll see. What
one's always going to be one, and one's always going to be number 2, and it doesn't really matter, does it? Really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, because there's 11 people on the field at each time. They make a difference.
And Jalen Daniels would have had all the troubles what Caleb had to put up with last year with the crap coaches and all the shit what was going on. Yeah. So he wouldn't have been that player that played last year. You know what I mean?
Scrolls. Welcome Scrolls. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player, but I definitely feel like Caleb's arms got a bit more strength to it. But yeah, why can't there be 2 good quarterbacks out the same draft? It's just ridiculous. That famous draft in the 1983, we had John Elway, Bernie Kosar, and fucking Boomer Eisner all in the same draft and all that. You know what I mean? So it happens. And it's better for the
NFL. Caleb's draft could be pretty epic. You've got there's Bo Nix, there's Drake May.
That's right, yeah.
There's some guys that are playing some good football, So it's not a zero sum. There isn't going to be only one good one each class. So all that matters is we keep Caleb developing and, just build something here. And that's all I really give a shit about. I say, I've got no problem with just the media making out like he's the bloody golden boy.
It's something what Mike Florio would do. That's the sort of thing he does. He'll sort of try and invent like a drama which isn't even remotely there. Do you know what I mean? So, and the thing as well is, it's not like they're really competing against each other. It's not like fucking Jaden's playing like on the defense against Caleb, is it? Do you know what I mean? You're playing against the defense of the opposition, not the quarterback, as the quarterback. But yeah, we'll move on to special teams. The new kicker who nobody apparently had met before, like Caleb basically said, I didn't even know he was until a day when we didn't even know he existed, more or less. And I think he played for the 49ers and he got cut because he kept missing a lot of kicks, which is bad if you want to be a kicker in the NFL. But he went 4 out of 5 and his longest of 48, and obviously the last minute one were outgoing. Because it was only like 38 yards. It wasn't like a real long kick. Yeah. And I just kept thinking, don't fucking slip, man. Don't slip. Don't fucking slip. And then I kept thinking, get the height on it, because that's the reason why, the block kick got blocked, because it was quite a low trajectory. But luckily, and I went, oh mate, I watched the Bears game like that and felt so good after it. Not saying we're going to win every game for the rest of the season, but it was sort of it was a good game to watch. And it was just satisfying how we did it. Everybody played a part, and it was just good to see Caleb get it, man. Anyway, because he's like a hometown kid, he's from that area, played high school in Washington. Man, they showed you some footage of where he played at high school, and it was just amazing. It the artificial pitch, but then it had I don't know if it school buildings, but they were right up to the pitch. and it had like a bit of an old look. It was really sort of, I've never seen anything like it. And they also showed like his high school coaches were there as well. But I watched it at 4:30 in the morning, so I don't know what you'd really count that as night or morning, because I couldn't. I've told the story anyway, mate. You must be late in, shorty.
Yeah. I watched it live, shortly. I watched it live. I couldn't sleep when the Bears are playing. I can't sleep, so I did stay up till bloody 4:45 in the morning to watch it.
I was actually in bed before you even text me.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's why I didn't bother you, because I sent you that text about 10 o'clock, didn't I?
Because I thought, well, I'm a bit bored, and then I just thought, well, if I go to bed a bit early, then if I do sort of want to watch it, I can do it. But 4:30 in the morning, but it was like the greatest way to start a fucking day, mate. It was so fulfilling. But anyway, I think we'll move on, mate. I think it's that time of the show where we call this Jason's Stat Bomb. He brings it every week. And fire away, mate.
Right, where are they? I've got this. My notes are all over the shop because I'm tired. That's my excuse. But anyway, you talked about...
no excuse, mate. That's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
Would you say that to Ben Johnson? I'm tired, coach. I can't do it, mate. Would you say that to Ben Johnson? No, mate.
Shut up. This is my segment. Right, so turnover differential. You mentioned that. So some of the things you look at, turnovers is always key, isn't it? And if you can win the turnover battle, you're in with a chance. So they did score from everyone, didn't they? Even though 2 of them were field goals, which is always disappointing. But if you score from every turnover, you're going to be in with a shout, I think. So you're right. We are currently tied for the lead in the NFL in the turnover differential of +8. We've had 8 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries, and the Jags are currently there with us. They've had 10 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries. But they have actually, the reason they're tied with us because they've had 12 takeaways, but they've done more giveaways because Trevor Lawrence has thrown 5 interceptions. So
how many has Caleb thrown? Did he just throw the 1? No, 2.
We've had 2 for giveaways. We've lost 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. So yeah, we're basically +8 with the Jags at the top of the NFL at the moment in terms of takeaway differential. So that's always going to be big. Penalties, right? We mentioned that, didn't we, earlier? So as much as they were nonsense, and we know it's something we have to address, but I just thought I'd see how we compare in terms of everyone else. So we've had 43 in 5 games, basically, which is the 14th most in the NFL. Bearing in mind some teams have played 6 games, which is the 14th most. For context, the Patriots lead the way with 50. Well, lead the way, if that's the right word to use. The Patriots are the most penalised team with 53. Atlanta have actually given away the fewest with 27. And in terms of yardage, the most yards lost to penalties is the Giants at 470, which is a ton of yards, isn't it? And then the fewest is because the Falcons have given away the fewest penalties. They've given away the fewest yards at 187.
Right.
So the Bears have lost 362 yards from their 43 penalties, which is the 9th most. So we're middle of the road, 14th for the amount of penalties, but we're obviously getting hurt by the yardage a bit more by getting the 9th most yards lost. So yeah, it is what it is. It's something to be cleaned up. But what's been really positive for me, hell yeah, Scrolls. We talked about refereeing. I don't think we should go there again. But yeah, the good news is for me is that they say that bullshit illegal formation on Colin Benedette for the touchdown
bullshit
was the only foul called on our offensive line the whole game. No false starts, no holding. So that's a really positive sign in my book. So I think another one, got 2 left. You might have seen it if you watched the end of the coverage. I think they did it when they were chatting to Caleb Williams on the post game. Is that Caleb Williams is the first Bears quarterback ever with 200 or more yards and 1 or more touchdowns in his first 5 games of an NFL season. First Bears QB ever to do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and as well, Jason. Last Sunday, the London game was obviously the Jets playing. And my God, Justin Fields. I mean, I know they all line didn't really help him out, but
oh my God,
shocking.
No. Yeah.
Absolutely shocking.
-10 passing yards, wasn't it? Or something? It was terrible.
I mean, that was like something from like a 1983 British American football team.
Yeah.
It was like it was just real. I know. Blah blah blah. He's a good guy. Blah blah. I mean, how many people once the players left the Bears? I don't really sort of care what they do. I hope they do all right, but my allegiance is to the Bears, not to a player. It's like the Jedi with the Force. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we're about the Republic.
All right, Mr. Tangent. Anyway, I haven't finished yet. So bloody hell. So the final stat bomb is again. I don't know if anyone's picked this up as well already, but the Bears are now on a 3-game winning streak, which is tied for currently the longest winning streak in the NFL.
This season?
At the moment, the teams the current longest winning streak going at the moment in the NFL is 3 games, and it's the Bears, the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Broncos are the 4 teams that are on a 3-game winning streak, and that's currently the longest streak in the NFL at the moment. So
awesome.
And noticeable amongst that is that the Bears are the only NFC team on that list. The others are in the AFC. So
that's interesting.
Let's go Bears. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for now. That's. I just come back to that comment from Dave. Dave, Bears UK 2. To be fair, Chris and Jason could get a game with the Jets.
You know what, Dave? I'd do it, mate. I'd do it. For some reason, when I turned 40, I was coaching for a local American football team called the Yorkshire Rams, and I was their running back coach. And one of the guys were leaving, so I bought all these equipment, the shoulder pads and the helmet. And I thought, oh yeah, I could play running back again. You know what I mean? I kept thinking, standing as high as on the 80s, when all the American players over. And literally, we did the warm-ups, and it was cold. And then literally, I ran so stiff, like I was like an old man. It was like your steptoe's father. You know what I mean? I was fixed. I've been going to the gym, but I just thought, nah, mate, this ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just my time's gone. I know you try to have a bit of a resurgence, didn't you? Playing not that long ago, were it?
No, only 4 years ago. I was 50. Tried playing cornerback, and I did all right. No, but no, it was bad. Yeah, it was. It didn't go very well. So, then ended up pulled a hamstring, and that was the season over. In fact, no, actually, what happened was it was training, and I got fucking nailed by one of the linebackers on some drills, and it popped some ribs out, and I thought, yeah, I'm done now. I'm finished. That's me over. So,
the trouble I have is I've just got no lung capacity from smoking weed for like 30 odd years.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I'll run, and I need to stop for about a second to get my breath back.
So just to answer this comment as well from Shorty, again, I've noticed it. I think we're all watching this, aren't we? I know.
Oh, nice! I didn't know. I thought it'd have to be like getting near 300 to do that. That's a good shout, mate. That is.
Yeah. He is currently on course. If he maintains the same level of yardage and touchdowns as he's done so far this season, he will hit 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns this year. So, knock on wood, we'll see what happens. But he's all right.
I've got no wood to pat. It's all glass.
No comment.
I'll let you do that one, mate. I'll let you do that one.
Yeah.
But awesome stat bomb, mate. Awesome stat bomb. Right.
But just sorry, mate. Sorry, let me just jump in there because I wrote all these out, right? And this is what I wanted to do. I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? About talking about how we went on the road to what is considered one of the better teams in the NFC, and gave them a game, right? And this is when you talk about a comparison, because you could talk about all the little things here and there about what was it, a fumble, or we're lucky, whatever, the weather, and all the other stuff. You look at performance, basically one team against the other. And we outperformed them in most areas of the game. So total yardage, offensive yards, Washington 329, Bears 381. Yards per play, Washington 5.5, Bears 6.5. Passing yards, Washington 205, Bears 236. Yards per pass, 7.1 for Washington, 7.4. 3 sacks each. Rushing yards, and again, this is where we were panicking last week about going into the game. Rushing yards, the Bears had 145 yards on the ground, Washington 124, which looks even worse when you take out the 52 yards that Daniels got on his scrambles.
I was getting slightly fed up with the commentary about the running back for Washington called Billy or Bill something.
Yeah, correct.
That got a bit boring quick. All right.
Yards per rush, 4 for Commanders, 5.4 for the Bears. Red zone, they beat us. They were 1 for 1. We were 1 for 3. Obviously, turnover game, we smashed that. 3 turnovers, 1 interception, 2 fumbles. And I like the way we spread it about in terms of, like I say, the rushing was 6 different players carried the ball, and for receptions, 8 different receivers. So we're not sort of keying in on the, just.
How did we do on third down conversions?
3 of 10.
I thought it was something quite low.
Yeah, we started off bad, didn't we? So we got 1.
Yeah, we really did.
We went 1 for 7 to start with. So, and then we were for the last 3, we were 2 of the last 3. So we improved in the second half. That's something that does concern me slightly, is we seem to be a bit cold coming out of the second half. But again, I trust the coaching staff. As long as we keep finding a way to win, keep in the game, stay in the game, win it at the end. Suits me.
I'd like
to mention. It's just that we, just look at all the stats. We gave Washington a game on their patch, but
this was a good team we played as well, who had a 3-2 record. So we weren't playing against chumps, and it was just night and day with our running game on both sides, and that like we said at the start of the show, that is like hats off to the coaching staff and the players for making the alterations and improving in what they did, and hopefully we got set on offensive line now.
Yeah.
But great stat bombs night as usual.
Thank you.
It does fill up. It does fill up 10 minutes.
It takes me longer to do the research. I tell you, that was a slog today when I was so bloody tired after staying up to the early hours to watch that game. So yeah, these are tough ones on a Tuesday night when we've watched a Monday night game.
I can't wait for just the Bears Sunday game. I'll be quite happy for a 12 o'clock game, to be honest with you.
6 o'clock on a Sunday, like this one coming up. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Is it a 6 o'clock kickoff for us?
6 p.m. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
It's a noon
Even
game,
like half-9 ones, man. I'm getting to that age now where I'm thinking, fuck it, I'll just watch it tomorrow morning.
You're nodding off in the armchair by then, eh?
Well, it's just sort of like, I might as well try and watch the game in the most enjoyable manner. Like I know you watched it last night live, and I find it gets like 3 o'clock, especially with the adverts. It turns into a bit of a grind. So
you see, I'm not like that, mate. I just love knowing that it's live now. There's something about it being live that it does it for me. I really, I love just staying up and watching.
I mean, I do, but like us as well. I am a fucking lazy bastard, and that probably comes into the equation quite largely.
Whoa.
But cool. Right, we'll move on to an Orleans Saints.
Quickly, though.
What's going on?
Shorty's just said Booker.
Really?
I don't know if he did. I think Shorty, where have you got that from?
Where are you getting all this info from, mate?
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't injured. He's trained in full last week, but they've obviously decided to hold him out for this game. So I didn't think he was injured. He was
First I've heard about it anyway.
They just deemed, as Crimson said, they just didn't think he was ready yet. Greg Gabriel. Was that this afternoon? Was it on Aldo's show? Did he say that he's?
I can't remember him saying that.
No, I didn't. I joined it for a bit of that, but no. Okay, we'll see. I'll wait for any news on that.
Cool.
Foster says Bears winning will fix all them stats and they'll be good stats. Hell yeah.
You're right, Foster. But all that really matters is fucking winning. I don't care how we do it. In the NFL, it's so hard to win in the NFL. To do it like that. Shorty,
I need to have words with you, mate. That is how he got the original injury. He was on a kick. He was chasing a kick down, and he injured his knee on the return. It was the same return that Daniel Hardy absolutely nailed the returner.
Yes.
That was how he got the injury originally. Was he hurt his knee on special teams? He's chasing a kick down and he hurt his knee. So come on, Shorty, keep up. Hell yes, Scholes. I'm with you 1,000% here, mate. I want to see Booker back. He was lighting up in preseason.
I agree, Scholes, man. Because it's just nice to get a bookend. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a bookend against Sweat. Maybe that'd open him up and that. But I thought Dexter and that in the middle and Billings played really well. And
Dexter and Billings, good
did
pressure
the
at the
rookie
middle.
play? Turner.
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah,
I thought he looked all right as well.
Yeah, he's coming on. I think I can't see him on the stats here. That's where is he? I can't find it. I'm not going to look now. But anyway, he was in there making some plays. I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right,
Crimson. I'm with you, mate. Again, do better, Shorty. Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he could completely just pull the show any second. He's got the power.
Yeah, whatever.
But right, let's move on to New Orleans, mate. I'll be honest with you, Jason. Like we were chatting before the show, I know fuck all about the New Orleans Saints this season. All I know is that the 1-5, the loss to the Pats last week, 19-25.
Chris.
What?
Hang on, mate. Sorry, Shorty's come back. Right, he says no. Greg said that today. Yes, but he said that's how he got the injury that's kept him out.
The first time.
But Booker was inactive on last night, so he did not play. He was trained fully all week last week. He was off the injury report and he was an inactive for the game, so he did not play. Yes, last night. Greg mentioned that because that's how he got the original injury. Was playing special teams against whoever it was. 4 weeks ago, whatever, 5 weeks ago. Sure. There we go. We've got it. We've got through. Learning has taken place. Well done, Shorty. Exactly.
Come on, Shorty, mate. Come on.
Let's be kind to Shorty. He was half listening because he was busy working. He was busy.
Yeah, that's true, mate. He's doing stuff that's very, very technical and important, so he can't fuck up.
So we let you off, Shorty. We forgive you. Please don't.
So anyway, New Orleans Saints, man. Let's get on with this New Orleans Saints.
Yeah,
bullshit.
come on, for God's sake. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they've got a guy called Spencer Rattler playing QB. He got 20 out of 26 for 227 yards against the Patriots. Kamara had an absolute terrible game against the Patriots. He only got 10 yards. He only got 31 yards from 10 carries, so he had a bit of a fucking bullshit one. But tell me something about the New Orleans Saints, when apart from that, hopefully they're going to be as bad as what the record is.
Well, I guess the record doesn't lie, does it? I suppose. Yeah, they are 1-5. They started 0-4, and then they beat the Giants week 5. Lost to the Patriots last time out. It was 22-16 at half time, and they both only managed 3 points in the second half, so it finished 25-19, I think it was. Essentially, 3 of their losses are by 1 score only, so they got blown out. Really? Blown out by the Seahawks and the Bills, but then the other 3 were by 1 score only. They were actually on the late fourth quarter drive to try and sort of tie it up or take the lead on Sunday, and then they had a fumble by their tight end to sort of kill the game off. So that's where they're at. So Spencer Rattler's their quarterback, as you may know, came out of the draft with Caleb. He was the guy that Caleb replaced at Oklahoma when he stopped playing.
Right. Is he that guy then?
Yeah, that's
I didn't realise.
Yeah, so his 6 games he's played, 68.5% completion rate, 1,217 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception for a rating of 91.9, and he's taken 11 sacks. So steady, but their general play is not the best. So offensive yards per game.
Sorry, is it anything like particular? What's the reason why they're so bad? Is it like basically everything and it's a rookie coach, or because honestly, man, it's just not a team I've followed 1 ounce at all this year. You know what I mean? Not even like watching the highlights or anything.
Yeah, I just know they've been quite bad, and I noticed that they're getting.
Yes.
So you just have a look. Don't
Let's not get too technical. Think they're bad. 5
exactly.
Bad.
The problem is, the problem is they can't seem to convert any possession into points. So they're kind of bottom half. Their offense is definitely bottom half for the NFL.
Right.
So they average 305 yards a game total offense, which is 24th. Their passing is 195 yards a game, which is 22nd. The rushing is 19th at 109 yards per game. For context, the Bears is 110 yards, 0.8. So we're 18th with the next team above them in rushing offense. And we've all been saying that we can't run the ball. So basically, we must thereby, by extrapolation, means they can't run the ball either. So the running attack is weak.
That's like what happened to Kamara in the last game.
Like you said, last game.
From the 40.
In the last game, they managed 73 yards on the ground with Alvin Kamara. So I believe their O-line isn't brilliant. But again, I've not looked in that much detail. But essentially, their worst rating is their points per game. Like I said, they can't convert possessions into points because they're 28th. They're managing 18.5 points per game, whereas the Bears are 10th with 25.2.
That's good.
So defensively, again, they're sort of bottom half. So their pass defense is their strongest suit, which isn't saying much. because they're
Right.
16th in the NFL, giving up 213 yards a game. Their rush defense is 18th in the NFL at 114 yards per game. And obviously, the Bears are 31st currently with 156, so we can't shout too much about that. Their total offense, the total yards they're giving up is 327 yards per game, which is 18th in the NFL, and they're giving up an average of 26.7 points per game.
Whereabouts?
So,
sorry, Jason. Do you know whereabouts their offense is in the league? Like their overall offense?
Yeah, I told you that just a few moments ago.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. No, exactly. No, just to comment there, King Booker World, and it's getting onto this. Absolutely nothing is a given in this league.
Absolutely,
any given Sunday has never been more true. Look at some of the games we've seen recently. And the Bills are on a 2-game losing streak.
Oh man,
the Super Bowl. And yeah, Scholes has got it 1,000%. Ben Johnson is intense. He's detail obsessed. He will not allow them to overlook any opponent because he'll know what.
And why would you, as a player, not want to continue like you are?
Yeah,
because it's working. You know what I mean? And it's brilliant playing sport when you win, like when you get into a bit of a roll and you get the confidence going.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck it, man. We'll leave the. No, have you got any more about the Saints?
No, that's it really. Just they're kind of bottom half.
Right,
they can't convert possession into points, and they're giving up quite a few points per game. That's why they keep losing football games.
This moment in time, Jason, should be quite easy for you because we should beat the New Orleans Saints. It's prediction times, and so I'm going to go. Hopefully, the Bears offense can keep doing what we did last night. Keep that intensity going. Keep the running game going. I think the Bears could win 35-14.
Whoa! Look at that. There's one earlier. Where was it here? I'm trying to see who. I think it was Scrolls came in with a prediction. So I think he said something like 48-13 or something. I don't know if I remember.
Wow, that's optimistic.
I can't find it. I should have starred it, but I didn't. Sorry.
So anyway, mate, what's your scoreline for Sunday?
My scoreline for Sunday is 38-13.
Nice. All right. I mean, that's still a lot scoring by us.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, they've got a bottom half.
Who have we got? Sorry, Jason. After the Saints, who have we got? What's the next two games after the Saints? Is it the Baltimore Ravens and
Bengals after that on the road?
Well, the Bengals. That should be. I know it's away, but that should be a game where we should compete. For fuck's sake.
We should compete. Hopefully. I mean, they've got Flacco now instead of Jake Brown.
Yeah, because their QB went down, so he's out all year.
Season. Yeah,
it's a shame, and he's a good player.
I think the Ravens have got a bye this coming weekend, and then we play them. So they're saying that I think Lamar Jackson will be fit.
Right.
Again, I don't know. I won't look too far ahead yet. I'll look at them later. But I know they're having a terrible run, aren't they? Their defense has been absolutely abysmal.
Well, I think they've had a lot of injuries on defense.
They've had some injuries, yeah. So they're 1-5, which is a shock.
I mean, it's mad, you just don't expect to with a Baltimore Ravens team. Not with that team.
They're not suddenly dog shit. They've had some bad results, but the same. You'll have to be up for that game to certainly, and on the road again as well. So, but yeah,
cool.
First of all, let's get past the Saints. Let's give them a good game, give them a good challenge in front of the Soldier Field crowd at 6 o'clock on Sunday for us. Noon kickoff.
It's great for me because obviously before the game I do the Barfly tailgate show, so it all just leads nicely. But also, I think there's another London game into this weekend.
There is, that's right.
Yeah. Have you seen any of them games?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
Oh, really? Right.
I'm busy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you.
I see as Crimson says, I hope Lamar's healthy when we play them, but right now it's all about Saints. Exactly.
You're right, mate.
One game at a time. Who cares about the week after next?
It's so cheesy, but it's true.
It is true. Totally true. You have to be in this league. You get
burned
beyond the next opponents.
Right, buddies. Anything else you want to get into, or is there anybody left in the chat we need to thank?
No, just everyone that's showed up and joined in with the chat.
Do your shout out, mate, and we'll wind the show up.
Okay, so going from the bottom, it's Crimson, the Dig, the Scrolls, Patty L, Shorty's in, of course. King Booker World, as
King
always,
Booker.
chipping in. Okay, you guys have been busy. Foster was here as well. I think Squeegee. Dave Bears UK 2.
Dave, I'm so glad to see you in the chat, man, because I thought you might have abandoned us because I hadn't seen the chat for a while. So we're going to get in touch with you on through the old X. But yeah, good to hear from you, mate. Good to hear. Hope you enjoy the show. And like we keep saying, we'll have to get you on, mate, if you fancy it.
Definitely. Send an email. Antmas, Vizo Joe. Oh, this is tedious, isn't it? Sorry for this. Armando is in again. Same old people, saying the same wonderful, lovely people that keep supporting us, coming in, joining in with us, giving us someone else to talk to. Relentless Mikey. I think, are we there? Is there someone else? That's it, I think. Anyway, if we've missed you, hopefully we said hello when you joined in. Thanks again, everyone, for joining in and making us feel welcome in the old in the chat. So definitely up for the bants. But yeah, Dave, if you want to join the show, mate, we'd love to hear from you.
Sorry, Jason. Yeah, definitely get on, mate, because that was like one of my sort of original ideas for the show was sort of.
Sorry, Scrolls is there. It was. He did say 48-13. He says it's a bit biased. He's going to change it and go with Bears 47-13.
Nice. But it's so nice to have people from Britain checking the show and enjoying it, because that, like I was saying, that's like the original idea of the show, to sort of, get British Bears fans together, because I think we're still one of the most supported, teams in the UK and also in Europe as well from the 1985 team. So it's just nice to see people from Britain. So nice one, man. Cheers, mate.
Job. Shorty says, "Great job, boys, except for the opener." Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with me, mate. He's a technical guy. I'm just, he's the brain. I'm the looks and he's the brains.
What?
And now you're going to go, look who's just been married and been to a tropical island, you bastard.
I wasn't going to keep going on about that. But yeah, thanks very much, Squeegee. Appreciate that comment. He says, thanks, guys. Love the show. Great job. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us regularly and being part of it. So, yeah, I think we're done.
Mate. Well, I just want to say, obviously, thank you to Shorty for the channel, man, and letting us two English guys yabber on about the Bears. Thank you, everybody in the chat. It's great to see the numbers increasing, man, every week. And I actually don't read the chat during the show because I'm very lazy. So I'm so glad Jason does what he does with the production side of it. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel because it's good for our egos. And I just want to say about Chicago, man, as I say, what's going on. I just want to say, stay strong, Chicago. Don't let the bastards grind you down. All right? Because when I went there, I met some great people. And that's on both sides of the argument. I just don't hate seeing people being injured and hurt and the hatred in the air. And stay strong, Chicago, man, because you're one of the most amazing cities I've seen. And it was just, when I went, and it's really weird because it's exactly 2 weeks to the day I went to America. It were actually 2 weeks to actually this date.
2 years.
And, I just want to say, everybody stay strong in Chicago and look after each other, man. And let's just hope the Bears can do the city proud on Sunday. Be interested to see what the crowd's like on Sunday, regarding what's going on in Chicago on the streets. I wonder, I'm not saying there'll be violence, but I wonder if there'll be like a certain vibe. But yeah, I don't want to go political, but it's just distressing seeing a city what's an amazing city, and we're full of amazing people going through shit. So cool. Right then, after my political ramble, we will finish with a big bear down. Bear down.
We are Bears. We are Bears. We are Bears.
British Bears, the British Bears, the British Bears, the British Bears.